Hello, friends. See, whenever I happen to see the news, listen to the various comments, as an Indian citizen and a common person, I really wonder when I hear about various issues with respect to the democracy, judiciary, independent judiciary, separation of the powers, all these things. Actually, we have our grand norm, that is the Constitution of India, which is a basic foundation. And this constitution has been amended several times. In the beginning, the amendments was so controversial. One amendment based on the judgment changed the judgment, and the second amendment again reverted back the judgment. So like that it started happen. Be it is Sujan Kumar, be it is the Golaknath, even ultimately the Keshavananda Bharati. One wonderful thing so far I did not understand is with respect to the landmark case of a Keshavananda Bharati. See, Keshavananda Bharati is nothing but a real estate case, a property issue. At that time, property was a fundamental right. Although First Amendment made the to Article 31 amendments that property can be taken out by the government for a particular purpose, and immediately the government rushed to add the ninth schedule and put the ninth schedule that anything goes into the ninth schedule cannot be reviewed. So these are all the things with various amendments and various landmark judgments things change. In fact, Kohli's case changed the whatever the immunity and the protection of the ninth schedule, which cannot be reviewed. So ultimately, it can also be reviewed. Now the issue with respect to the Keshavananda Bharati, everybody thinks that Keshavananda Bharati is a landmark because the basic structure of the constitution has come out to the picture. What is the basic structure? You ask any constitutional expert, can one constitutional expert clearly define what is the basic structure? You ask any judge, can any judge tell what exactly the basic structure? Again, you give a general hypothesis things like a secular or the non-interpretation of the separation of the powers, so and so, so and so. What is there in the basic structure? There are so many issues are there in the constitution. I am not a constitutional expert. Neither I am a judicial luminary. But as a common person who knows a little bit of a law, I really wonder why so much confusion is getting generated through one case to other case. And recent judgments we can see. Recent I do not say the behavior, because if I talk about behavior then it becomes a contempt of a court. But various involvement of the Supreme Court or any other judiciary, how they are involving in legislation, how they are involving the execution. Is it based on the law or is it based on the opinion? One of my so-called famous advocate, a legal luminary, says that judiciary is independent and it cannot go with the normal democratic norm of a republic India. Still, I really wonder, is it really what is happening? Where from the power judiciary got? The constitution has given a power to make the rules. Article has defined that there can be a Supreme Court, there can be a High Court, and this is the judiciary system is specified in the Constitution. But what type of the powers they have? They have been given a free hand to make their own rules. Whether is there any auditing of those rules? Is there any analysis of those rules for a general public or a common public or with respect to the cases? Is it not a really mockery when I say that you are also following the democracy system in the judiciary? A case is decided by a bench, and the bench is more than 2, like a 3. So it's a 2:1. Again, we are going for a democracy. See, a particular judgment is already decided based on particular law or whatever the legal or legislation rules. A majority of them differ with that. They have their own interpretation. And ultimately, what are you doing? You are simply saying that, again, a majority. Is it not the democracy you are following in the judiciary? Then why we are talking about so many issues with respect to the democracy? Ultimately, the parliament is the supreme power of a country, because the parliament decides the president. President is a supreme power. Even in the constitution, the appointment of the judiciary is done by the president. Although there was one of the proposals when the constitution was made that the president should be away from the appointments in the judiciary system, which was ultimately not accepted. But during this process, where the things are going on, is there any one gunshot decision on anything? There are so many interpretations out there. So where is the law? Where is the real law? One should understand that each judgment, again we are going with the theory of relativity which Einstein said some time back. There is no absolute truth we are thinking or talking in the judiciary. Think about this thing. So friends, with these views, I would like to continue my series on how the democracy judiciary system is there in India and what are the issues with respect to the constitution. Here, before I conclude, I just wanted to talk about the constitutional issues, various. In the constitution, we said equality of the law. Article 14 says the equality of the law. There are again reasonable restrictions. Article 19 says the freedom. There are reasonable restrictions. Again, you have the Article 25, 26, 28, 29, various for the religious institution, for linguistic institutions. If the linguistic you are separating, where is the equality? So think about all those things. How and why the constitution is made. I am not a constitutional expert. I repeatedly say. But when this constitution is made, again some of the whims and fancies, and at that time whatever is the prejudices are there, they all are kept into the constitution, which probably nobody either shown the interest in refining it or nobody had a dare to do it. Same thing happened when we talk about the Manu Shastra and all those things. There are so many evils were there in this. Gradually, one by one, we have tried to remove that, like a sati and all those things. So is it not the time that again we have to revamp the entire constitution and see what exactly the India needs and what exactly we need to give the real justice to the people? Pending crores of the cases in the courts, we always feel proud about our judicial system. Again, friends, I am not criticizing the system. I am only expressing my view with my own analysis. I do not like to say that everything is bad. Always we have the best democratic system, best constitution, everything best. But to make the best into the real best, the efforts are needed. Apolitical, non-prejudicial efforts are needed. That's what my feeling. I think I'll continue my next, whatever the views in my next talk. Till then, have a nice day. Thank you.